Now, is it just me, or is there a kind of a pattern here with the review bomb claims when it comes to mainstream media and AAA video games? Now, don't get me wrong. I think that games can be review bombed in both a negative and a positive way. I'm not saying they can't in any way, shape, or form, but I'm just saying that it feels a little odd to me, a little strange that every time a AAA game gets bad reviews from the audience, from gamers, the people who actually play the games, the mainstream media just kind of automatically calls it review bombing, right? In the last few days, we've had a couple here. We've got, Black Ops 7 being review bombed, and we also have Escape from Tarkov being review bombed. And if you haven't noticed down here at the very bottom, both of these articles are written by the same mainstream dipshit. But what does he have to say about Call of Duty Black Ops 7 being review bombed first? And of course, before we get too far into it, please do me the giant favor of liking and subscribing the videos and all of those fun things. And now we will move on. So after just one day, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 has found itself being review bombed by players. Many in the community aren't happy about a ton of things. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 and sharing their frustration via the game's Steam reviews. Well, okay, fine. I don't think that justifies calling it review bombing when people are legitimately sharing their frustrations, but okay. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 was controversial from the outset, and why might that be? I would ask the person who wrote the article, and I'm sure they're going to tell us, right? Why was it controversial? The decision to go with Black Ops games wasn't exactly popular and led to many questions how the new game would feel, especially being developed by blah, 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 blah. Like I've said before, Black Ops is one of the most popular franchises for Call of Duty. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be, unless, of course, we just fully accepted it to be complete dog shit. But let's see here, skim through here. All right, with just 44% of the ones so far being positive as far as the reviews go on Steam. Well, all right, you know what? Let's, because he doesn't really, let's see, does he go into anything in here? His worst campaign of all time? Yeah, but almost every Call of Duty has that complaint. So whatever, I'm not going to worry too much about that. Black Ops 7 AI art. I haven't talked about that, but apparently they did use a bunch of AI art for the cards. It does look very AI to me, but I don't know, so I'm not going to comment on it. See, the use of AI in games becoming increasingly contentious. Yeah, it's contentious because people aren't being creative. I can see when somebody's like, hey, I'm going to use AI to try and maybe clean up a picture I did, or make help me think of new ideas, and I can feed that idea into the AI and get kind of a general idea of what I want it to look like instead of spending hours upon hours drawing or mocking something up. All right, fine, cool, but don't use it in a game that people are going to pay $70+ for. And while I'm on that, no, I won't go into that. I got a whole different rant on paying $70 full price for a digital game. Let's see here, but so there doesn't really seem to be. He doesn't really seem to go into a lot of actual reasons, right? Why people are quote unquote review bombing this game. So let's go to Steam and Black Ops 7. Here we go. Boom. We'll go to mixed reviews. All right, we're just going to go from the top down. Oh, yep, you can't see that. Never mind. Give me a sec here. There we go. All right, so we're going to go from the top down here. The game studio is so out of touch with what players want. I bought it so you don't have to. I despise the fact that someone else paid $7.99 €80, so 70 US dollars, to gift me this game. It doesn't deserve to be as such a high price. The campaign is whack. Can't pause. Forced to be online. No difficulty setting. Get your crap together, Activision. Which is the thing that got me, right? Is Why do they force you to be online in a single player mode? That is the dumbest thing ever. I've always hated that. Forced to be online in single player mode. You think that companies would learn from this? Because every time it happens, they get shit for it. Littered with AI slop. AI generated slop, another underbaked title delivered on false promises and blatant lies. Well, I mean, we should be used to that by now, right? The absolute worst campaign in Call of Duty history. Like I said, though, that's been said plenty of times, right? Made with a Warzone shell. They beat zombies back into the grave, and the multiplayer is clunky. The wow, yeah. See, these seems to be bad graphics, no AI teammates, no pause menu for campaign, no manual saves, shaders stutters every time they load. It seems a lot to me like it's a very legitimate complaints. These don't sound like they're complete. Folks, it doesn't feel like quote unquote review bombing to me. How about you? Does it feel like review bombing to you? Does it feel like it's people gaining up on the poor little AAA provider game person thingy from well, you know what I'm trying to say? Does it feel like it's gamers ganging up on poor little Activision, on the poor little multi-billion-dollar company? Or is it just people complaining about things they don't like legitimately in a video game, and that's the end of it? I think I'm going to go with option number 2. Anyway, if you like what I do here, do me a giant favor, like, subscribe, leave a comment below. And I already asked you the question, so I'll see you later. Bye-bye.